The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
You're back again on The Local Show, and we do appreciate you hanging out with Steve and I on this weekend where we champion local businesses. One such local business, Steve, is Stan and Donna Shane. They are the Shane couple. Don't be ashamed.
With the last name like Shane, I've asked him, I said, have people gone up and gone, hey, Shane, thinking it was your first name? He goes, right. Yeah, all the time.
All the time. Well, they own Syracuse Dog Fence.
Yes.
And we've had both dogs on the fence for quite a while, and they've just done spectacularly. And you really notice it now during the summertime, because we can let the dogs out in the front and in the rear.
Do you even think about it? You let them out, you know.
We just let them. Now, I do think about it when people are walking their dogs by, because people get nervous, because their dogs are on a leash and they see our dogs, and of course the dogs will still bark.
Sure.
But I have to say, they're on a fence, and I wave, and they're like, oh, and they look skeptical. But our dogs will not go past the center point of the lawn now. No matter what's going on out there.
I know when we had the house in Liverpool, and that's how I met Stan and Donna.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Sure.
Pretty near. And boy, Zoey never went anywhere.
Right.
And it was like, let her out. You're right. Summer day, winter day, no worries.
Nice.
And
let them go.
And they just let them go. So now we've got the new dog, Storm, appropriately called. That was a hand-me-down from my military son, Nate, the black lab, who my wife has fallen in love with. And now she calls it her dog. Well, her dog got trained last week up at camp.
Yeah.
Because my sister's dog, they had a fence already there. So
just get the collar on and go.
And you know what? He's figuring it out. And it'll just be more fun to not have to go, hang on, here's a dog, here's a leash, any of that. But if you've got a dog and you don't want it to run away, call Stan, 415-5555. Geez, that's the easiest number in the world. 415 and a whole bunch of fives, SyracuseDogFence.com.
There we go. Neal Carr is with us right now. He's the Vice President of Prime Heating and Air. How are you there?
I'm doing well,
Neal?
Fellas. Thank you.
Good to have you on, buddy.
Absolutely.
So it's been rather hot. I would imagine that the phone's ringing off the hook.
Did you double your prices during
the tripled, I think. Yeah.
You want AC? We've got it.
That's it. No, it was hot week this week. Yeah, for sure. But
do you get a lot of calls during this time? I mean, is it people in crisis or what?
Well, when it's 95 and high humidity, it's usually, hey, my system's not working. Yeah.
I mean, it's not working up to par or something.
Yes. When you get up into those temps, especially if you've got an older system, and a lot of people, they're used to having their thermostat set at, 65, 68, and if it's an older system, you're like, well, it only gets down to 72, 73. It's not, it's like, well, with the system, your age, that's, with temps this high, that's doing well. Yeah. So people just have to adjust their expectations of, where they're setting their thermostats at, because we don't get 95 all the time. So it's not something we're used to. So especially with the high humidity like that, those systems are working hard to pull all that humidity out of the air. Sure. And get those temps down. So, maybe just bump it up to 70, and give your system a little break.
But people think, hey, I'll put it on colder and then it'll work better. It's a thermostat, for goodness sakes. So if you put it on 65, you put it on 70. If it's only going down to 73, it's never going to shut off either way.
It's never going to shut off either way, right? Exactly. And then that thing's just going to grind and grind.
I'll tell you
something.
We set it at 73, and we have a system that was put in by Prime Heating and Air, and it is fantastic. At 73, my house is like an ice box. Where it's not like an ice box is upstairs. Yeah. And I'm still having trouble with the upstairs, but I do, when I go to sleep, I leave the fan on so that it draws the air through constantly. So whether the compressor is on or not, it's still pushing the cool air through.
It's moving some air around, right, which is helpful. In those homes, obviously the second story is always the hottest area. Because you're most of the time it's the furthest away from the system. The air's got to travel that far. So usually those are the areas that need the most help. But there's certain things you can do. You can do booster fans in the ducts that go to that area. There's zoning systems. You can have multiple thermostats. I mean, there's you can really get into a lot of different things if you want to. It's just it's more.
Did everything that was going to break kind of break already with people? Are they holding their own, or is your phone ringing off the hook?
It's both. Yeah, either they've already gone down or they're getting there because they've been working so hard this week. Yeah, so it's a lot of, service, and then people, when it gets this hot too, it's like, oh man, we better get our system checked out. We haven't in a while, so they'll call for maintenance.
Oh, they just get anxious about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
What other than AC and the heating system? What are you putting in? What are you doing?
A lot of water heaters.
Tanks?
Yeah, water heaters. Some tankless, regular, standard tank styles as well. Putting those in. Now's a good time too. Not necessarily right now in the middle of 95 degrees, but in the next month or so too, we got people calling us. They want us to do something with their boilers, while they're down this summer.
Don't you have somebody I know on that list?
I do. Sweet old lady.
Sweet old lady, Mom. So it's time. And that original boiler, 40-year-old boiler, I think it is.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore for sure.
No, so it was, you didn't say, you need it today. Yeah. There was no pressure.
Yeah.
So she was waiting, and I think she mentioned it the other day.
Yeah. We'll be following up with her probably within the next month or so. Get over there, get that done before she's got to worry about the heat for sure. But that especially the boiler. Furnaces, I mean, you whip a furnace out in and out anytime.
Right.
Boiler systems, if you're really thinking of changing it out, let's do it now while the system's down and cold and not being used. And then we can, make sure everything's
Does it take extra
good.
time to clear out Freddy Krueger down there in the boiler room?
Yeah, sometimes, depending on what they've got, and then there's a lot more involved too. You got all the piping, you've got all the valves, you got all, all the pumps, all that stuff. So there's a little more involved on the boiler. But so if you're thinking about doing that for before next season, now's a good time to call. We'll get you on the schedule to do some estimates.
What about the commercial properties? I know we talk a lot about the houses and things, and I know you guys do a fair amount of commercial stuff. Business owners or people that have space, are there things that they should look at differently than, setting the thermostat?
Yeah, absolutely. For the commercial spaces, a lot of it is maintenance. That's the key. Making sure the especially if you've got rooftops, that kind of thing, making sure those filters are getting changed, systems are getting checked, components are getting checked, all that stuff. So that's definitely something that we do well, and we're looking to grow in that space as well. So if you've got a commercial building or commercial space, or know someone that does, have them give us a call. I'd love to talk to them about maintenance programs, that kind of thing, and if you're considering replacing some equipment, whether it's a rooftop change out or whatever, we do all those. We just did 3 or 4 of them within the last couple of weeks. So.
I saw some pictures of ones over on Erie Boulevard. You did a big unit with a crane swinging it up. And
we did a big 10-ton unit there, and then we did 3 smaller units on another commercial building out in Fayetteville the week before. So it was a lot of those we've been doing a lot lately too. So definitely in the commercial world, give us a call. We're here for you. Yep.
When moisture is more of a problem inside the house, as things get colder and we move toward fall and winter, of course, do your units on the actual furnace do as good as having a room humidifier?
So you can get whole house humidifiers for a forced air system that connect right to the ductwork. So anytime the fan kicks on or the system kicks on, the humidifier kicks on and it draws the water out and puts the water back into your air.
Because that's really important. Yeah, we get very dry up here.
Yeah. So it's good for your skin, good for allergies, and it's good for the heating too. Just like now, when it's 95 degrees out, you're feeling that humidity in the house, and you're like, man, it is thick in here. It's warm. So you want that in the winter. You want that moisture in your air, so that you can have the thermostat maybe set a little lower, but it's holding the heat because the humidity's there. So you don't have to have it up to 75. Maybe you keep it at 72, but it still feels warm.
So if someone asks some questions, they can give you a ring, 802-4287.
That's us.
802-4287. Ask for Neal because he'll answer the phone.
Yep.
PrimeHeatAndAir.com, and whatever they ask, you'll answer the questions.
Yeah, we're here for you. Absolutely.
All right. You have a great rest of the day there, Neal.
You too. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Christina Kohler. She's part of Onondaga Grown and an egg processing manager at Hudson Egg Farms, LLC, right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.